chosen to expand my garden this year to cover the small portion on the side of our shed. We will be replacing the shed at some point, but it won't be this year, so I figured doing a little bit of in-ground planting would give me some extra space for all the extra plants that I have this year without causing too much of a hassle later on. I sourced this edging off of Facebook Marketplace. It was $24 for the amount that you see here, plus a little bit extra. I might use that later on, the extra pieces, for another section. Haven't decided wholeheartedly if I want to do that, but this is where we're at so far. I will say these panels click into each other, and they're very hard to keep connected, especially around the curve. The pieces are flexible, but it's just when bending them, it puts a little bit too much pressure on the join, and they just have a tendency to come unattached. It was also necessary to dig a bit of a trench and push down the pieces to get them to stick. So in this video clip, you'll see me gathering a lot of soil and dirt around the pieces to try and hold them in place and keep them from unsnapping. They did work out pretty well though in the end, and they were really nice for the price. I mean, it was only 20 bucks, not a big upfront cost, and they feel sturdy enough that they'll last a while and hold up for as long as I need them to. End up using 6 bags, 7 actually total, of soil and compost. These first 3 batches we're putting down here are compost, and then the other 4 were just bags of in-ground soil mix. It's kind of like a mixture between compost and topsoil. They're a little bit denser, not quite as fluffy as the compost, but they don't have the perlite that you would have in a potting soil mix. My original thought is that 3 would be enough to cover it, but because the ground here is so dry and there's not really anything living over here to help loosen it all up, I decided to go with an extra few bags just to add those nutrients back to the soil that would be needed. Here, I'm just doing a quick layout of all of the plants before digging them into the ground. In previous years, I would just start throwing things into the ground without making a plan, but it always ended up with it being overcrowded during the height of the season in like June, July, and it makes it really hard to harvest. So I'm doing my best this year to make sure that I'm leaving that dead space in between the plants when initially planted in the ground, and keeping it in my mind that in a couple weeks to a month or so, all of these plants are going to be huge and massive, and all of this open space will be filled. So I think I got everything planted that I can in here without it being overcrowded. I've got yellow pear tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, yellow pear. Then these here are okra. They're all scraggly. We'll see if they take off. Habaneros, calendula, serranos here. This is another serrano. This is summer savory. It got all scraggly. I just threw it in there. It's like, if it survives, it survives. If not, whatever. Here is rosemary. I've got some random chives down there. more rosemary, habaneros, and yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much all I think I can get in this spot here, just because the tomatoes are going to get really big, the pepper plants get really big, the hot pepper plants, and I don't want to overcrowd this spot. But this is what it looks like. I am going to water it. I'm going to water it, and then I've got to figure out what to do with these, with all of this. I still have more tomato plants, 4 habanero plants, and then all of those there are sunflowers that I wanted to do, and I have no idea where to put them.